HBO Hard Knocks is following an NFL team around midseason for the second consecutive year. And this year, it's a struggling Arizona Cardinals. Before we get into that, man, drop us a like. Make sure you subscribe and catch us talking sports every single day. And drop us a comment like my boy Jerome Scholes, who thinks Sean Payton might end up in Arizona with these Cardinals. It would be very interesting. But Logan, my guy, man, I'll toss it up to you, man. What do you make of the in-season Hard Knocks for these NFL teams? Is it a good idea or not so much?
I do think it is a good idea. I think that as professionals, these guys are used to the cameras being around them. You have social media. Cameras are literally around you 24/7. People are always posting things, craziness. I mean, you know the cameras are on.
Right.
And then not to mention that NFL films outside of Hard Knocks, they have like inside the NFL, you have all the build-up interviews and things. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. It shouldn't be, quote-unquote, a distraction. You should be able to do your thing and not worry too much about it. But it also puts in a great perspective for fans who just can't get enough football. The NFL knows what it has. NFL knows that it got money in the bank. HBO knows it's money in the bank, so that's why they expanded it. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense, and you get to see all the behind-the-scenes, like, injuries happen as they happen, sort of thing. Like, oh, you know, Kyler Murray pulled up a little bit, it's a hamstring, like, and you get the real feel. I know DeAndre Hopkins had a lot of words to be like, what are you looking at, one? Like, I mean, those are things that you don't really get to see outside of this kind of format. And so I do think it's cool. It's very much reminds me of like a Last Chance U kind of thing, where it's like you just get that inside perspective that people are craving.
No doubt about it. I mean, from a fan perspective, it's awesome. I mean, it's absolutely awesome from a fan perspective. But from a player perspective, if I was a fan of the Arizona Cardinals, I'd be pissed off that my team was playing like this and I had to watch them, you know, every week on Hard Knocks. I would just be upset because, and you can't really argue with the results, because who was on it last year, the midseason version of Hard Knocks? That'd be the Indianapolis Colts. And they missed the playoffs after a hot start to the season, after absolutely falling off in the second half of the year, culminating with just an embarrassing loss in Week 17 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, preventing them to make the playoffs. And we go down to the Arizona Cardinals, who are absolutely stinking up the joint through 10 weeks of the NFL regular season. It's not looking great. And again, sure, you don't want to blame Hard Knocks for being there for the team's struggles, but you have to think that it plays some type of role. And I know Cliff Kingsbury came out and said something that he doesn't even notice the cameras are even there half the time. But again, you're talking about it, having cameras in meetings. Like, as an NFL player, you're used to cameras and media and stuff being around. But
then how does Colt McCoy come out and win a game if that's a distraction? Like, how do you have your backup quarterback come out, win a game, and and give the quarterback controversy now?
I just don't have an answer for that. I just think Colt McCoy coming out and winning a game is just the epitome of how the Arizona Cardinals season is going at this point. You know, maybe they should stick with him. I know that a lot of beat writers in the Arizona fan base and that market are already clamoring for Colt McCoy to be the guy over Kyler Murray.
I can't wait for the episode to drop. I can't wait for that one, because it's going to be a fun one to hear.
So again, from a fan perspective, it's awesome. It's awesome. We love this inside access, particularly in this season. But again, for players, I can't imagine that it's something that they prefer, again, especially with how Kyler Murray is looking through this season with, you know, the controversy surrounding Cliff Kingsbury and that front office.
At the same time,
it's not great.
Man, it's your job. It's your job. It shouldn't affect what you're saying, what you're doing. And we mentioned the DeAndre Hopkins thing. He wasn't afraid to be like, yo, what are you looking at? I look back at, because Jeff Saturday, this got recycled when he was hired. It's the stop calling the plays, Jeff, from the Peyton Manning clip. Like, it shouldn't. Like, he knew he was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm mic'd up. Like, it shouldn't affect the way that you play. It shouldn't affect the attitude.
It shouldn't, but does it?
Like, look at the social media teams on these teams. Look at all the cameras that you have. Look at the fan base. They have interviews all week. It should not be that big of a deal.
It shouldn't.
When it's an in-house kind of thing where they're just walking out of the locker room, they sit down for 5 minutes and talk like we are right now. Yeah. It shouldn't be that big of a deal.
It shouldn't. They shouldn't, but again, until a team on this midseason Hard Knocks actually makes the playoffs, I'm going to be skeptical.
They picked the Lions in the preseason. We didn't think they were going to make the playoffs.
But that was before the season. That wasn't a new thing. We've always had Hard Knocks preseason. That's
I know, but why does it matter how well they do? Half the time they don't do well anyway. It's all because of drama, and they knew that the Arizona Cardinals were going to bring the drama because Cliff was on his last leg. Like, we all knew that going into the season.
The Cardinals have not disappointed. The Cardinals have not disappointed when it comes to creating drama. That's for sure. They have been at the top of the league in that department for some time now. But let us know in the comments how you feeling about the Hard Knocks Arizona Cardinals mid-season version. What are your thoughts? Let us know. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos and don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below while you're at it. Also, for more great and original content, head right over to bvmsports.com.